Hello plant peoples, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with a 6-minute, maybe 7-minute video on my top most 6 easiest houseplant. So those who are starting on this hobby, take note. Otherwise, these plants are easy to get. You can find them in your Canadian Tire store. You can find them anywhere in your local nursery. So very easy. They all require like minimal lighting, minimal watering. So very easy and very easy to propagate as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Plant number 1 is the ZZ plant. This is one of the plants that I added to my plant collection when I first started this plant hobby. It is truly easy because the watering requirements is not there and also the lighting requirement is not there. These grow and have their own little tubers. They're like little potatoes and that's their root system. They store water in there, so no need to water. I water this plant maybe once every couple weeks, like 3 weeks. Just by feel, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It just sits there and looks pretty. It comes in different variations of colors, so I also have a black ZZ Raven. This is the plant that is in my condo. It actually grows out green, but as it's hardening off, it turns black. It's very lovely. The prices of these have come down a lot. Next plant up is the Sansevieria, aka the snake plant. There's a reason why you may see these in the mall is because it doesn't really require high light and also watering as well. So I have one. This is sitting at my parents' place. I pretty much plopped it into a planter that I got from IKEA, and it just sits there and looks pretty. Doesn't get a whole lot of light because it's by the staircase, but it's thriving, it's doing well, and that's pretty much it. I don't really have much to say about this plant. It doesn't need a lot of attention. However, it is a slow growing plant. There are different varieties of it. There's so much out there, but these are the other ones that I have. This one I got from Marketplace. I don't really remember what the name was, but I just like the stripy patterns on the side of the leaf blade. The other one that I do have is the whale fin. This hasn't come down in price yet, but yeah, it's super adorable. It's really big and it's like super thick, the leaves. I don't really water it often. I just stick it in a corner and just ignore it. The third plant is Pothos. Any kind of Pothos, honestly. This is my Enjoy, I believe. I don't remember because I got this from Facebook Market. It actually had mealybugs, and I treated this plant so many times with rubbing alcohol, but it's finally overcome that. This one is my other one that is in my condo. It's not a cutting, I don't think. I also got it as a separate plant from the first one that I showed you. It has been separated. I gave the other pot to my plant friend, and this is what I have left. I just didn't want something so big. And this one is a Japanese green global pothos. It is a rare plant, so you probably won't be able to get your hands on this, but I propagated this like crazy. Like, it was so easy to grow, and that's from a one leaf cutting. All of this came from a one leaf cutting, so you can imagine how easy it is to take care of. All you really need is pretty much water it, and lighting is okay. I don't really give too much light to my pothos, but the main thing is watering and you'll be on your way pretty much. The pothos has so many different kinds. This is my MANJULA pothos. It is a climbing one that I've made it into, and so I just wanted it to size up on the leaves. Pothos can get really big, by the way, so it really depends how you want it. Do you want it as a climbing plant or a trailing plant? So yeah, that's pretty much all you have to really think about. I have all my pothos in passive hydro. Here is a green global. It's looking a little sparse right now because I have been cutting it and propagating it just because I wanted a fuller pot, but it's quite lovely. This one might be a little bit harder to find, but you should be able to find it in your local nursery store now. Next one is the Scindapsus. Scindapsus has many different kinds. I do have a couple of variations, and this is the silver cloud. I personally think that a lot of the Scindapsus looks the same. I'm not a huge Scindapsus head, but you know, I do have a couple. This is my Scindapsus exotica. It's one of the first plants that I got in during the pandemic and getting into this plant hobby. I got a small hanging plant of this, and then I transferred it into a Wally Grow, and it's been thriving. This plant was a quarter of the size when I first got it, but the leaves are just ginormous. I love it. They do throw out a lot of runners. I'm not sure with the other Scindapsus, but here I have a pot of silvery, and I think I mixed a couple of different Scindapsuses in here, so they're not entirely like pure one singular form, but they do require a little bit of light to prevent any runners, and they are quite thirsty, so I would recommend it if you can have it in like a passive hydro. Okay, we're almost there. The next plant is the Ficus elastica, aka the rubber tree plant. I never really wanted a common house plants, but I ended up getting this one and I absolutely love it. There's a reason why you see it in the mall. That's because it's really easy to take care of. I don't water this plant too often and it just thrives. It's very vigorous grower. It grows super fast in the summer. So if you just want a plant to fill up like a space, I would recommend the rubber tree. The only thing I need to say is just you need to do your regular pest control just because these are spider mite magnets. Last but not least is the Monstera. I have a Monstera deliciosa here that I'm showcasing. I did make a video on the difference between a Forsythiana and a deliciosa. Anyways, this plant does require a lot of light, indirect light, filtered light technically, to get these inner fenestrations. If you do have a deliciosa, watering it when the first 2 inches of the soil is wet, that is good enough. I do keep mine in passive hydro just to avoid drought. Doesn't really require too much other than staking it up properly. Oh yes, and your regular pest control. These plants can attract thrips and spider mites, so you want to be careful. Just make sure you do your inspections, and also from time to time you can do your rinsing of your leaves down and also spray it with insecticide. So that concludes the end of the video. Those who made it to the end, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support my channel. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, subscribe, and share if this was a helpful video in terms of what plants you should get to add to your collection that is relatively low maintenance. And thank you once again, and yeah, please leave in the comments of what kind of videos that you would like to see next. It really helps me in terms of what content to make. It's really helpful. So thank you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.